Kia ora, this is Arun Jacob, your friendly and frank licensed New Zealand immigration advisor, as well as education advisor, coming live from Hamilton, New Zealand, as I do quite regularly. This is actually my 41st broadcast on Facebook and on YouTube. And I know some of you were actually expecting my colleague and fellow licensed immigration advisor, Mary Joseph, to be present here today on this particular session. But unfortunately, Mary was not feeling too well. And so I decided I'm going to step in for her. I mean, hey, what are good friends and colleagues for? So I said, I'm going to take this up and make it happen today for her. And we guys have been having some fun telling the rest of our team that she's going to come live. And we've been doing a little bit of, pulling the legs of the other team members. And so anyway, finally, here I am in front of the camera as always. And I did come back from a bit of a long holiday overseas. I went to India for a month, did a nice big long road trip, and then came back to New Zealand. I tried to go live last week, but unfortunately, I contracted the flu one while I was in India, and I wasn't all that well. But hey, look, feeling all better and nice, and back to what I like doing best, which is to promote New Zealand education and migration. And as always, I would like to start by sharing details of my license because I'm a licensed immigration advisor. And guess what? I normally share a license with you guys, which is from last year. But hoo, check who's got a new license. I just got this in the mail today. And so that's my new license, guys. There you go. You can see that it says that Arun Jacob is licensed now and all the way till March of 2020. So I also got a fancy new wallet card that I can put in my wallet. And every time I'm out there and I'm speaking to people and they ask me, hey, look, good to know you, but what is the kind of work you do? And I tell them I'm actually a licensed immigration advisor. And then immediately I pulled it out rather proudly from my wallet and show it to them and say, all right, look, that's what my profession is all about, promoting this beautiful country to wonderful people like all of you who would like to make it your new home, either directly through migration or through the pathway of education. Right, there was something else I told my team today. We were all in a bit of pulling each other's legs, and I told them that I'm also going to surprise them with something else, and they were all trying to guess what it was, especially my team members who are all, always faithfully following this live broadcast on Skype, and they keep giving me the background information that I require to be able to answer properly. And I told them, hey guys, I'm going to disclose something else today as a surprise to you and probably to everybody else who follows me. The fact is that last year I turned 50, and it is said that when you turn 50 and getting older, that a person would become wiser. I don't know about getting wise, but definitely my eyes are going bad. So starting from today, you guys are going to see me with this new look. Ooh, there you go. All right, I can see some chatter here in my team already saying, Mary, why are you looking like AJ, and so on and so forth. And in the meantime, we also started getting some questions from our regular followers. But before I do that, I just wanted to share with you that when I was coming back from India and I was in the Bangalore airport, there was this young girl who was also waiting to check into the aircraft, and she caught my eye and I caught her eye, and she kind of gave me a nice big broad smile like she knew me. And so I smiled back, being courteous. And then again, I met her, we ran into each other at Singapore airport where we were changing to the Air New Zealand flight, and she smiled at me and I smiled back at her. And then when we landed in Auckland again, she was waiting in the customs line, and so was I, and she smiled at me and I smiled back at her. And that was it. I forgot all about it. But pleasantly last week, she wrote to me saying, hey, Arun, my name is so-and-so, and I'm the girl who kept smiling at you at different airports from India all the way to New Zealand. And she said, I recognize you from your videos, and I wanted to come up and say hello to you, but I just didn't have the courage to come up and introduce myself. And I was like, hey, you really should have. It would have been nice to have like a travel companion and have a chat about New Zealand, and all you young people can perform better here after you reach this country. So yeah, hey, look, I just wanted to use that utilize that opportunity to say thank you very much for all the people who follow my work and the work of my wonderful team. And yeah, it's always a pleasure to sit here and talk to you guys about that. All right, back to my new look. And I have a few things I wanted to discuss here. The interesting thing that has happened to our long-term skills shortage list over the last few weeks about because I was actually I wanted to talk about it just before I went away to India and on my holiday. But what I realized is that the government of New Zealand has introduced now something called the construction and infrastructure skill shortage list. So besides the long-term skill shortage list and the other skill shortage lists that we have, they have actually introduced something called the construction and infrastructure skill shortage list, which I think is phenomenal. I mean, it goes to prove that the government is very, very keenly wanting to attract people into this particular sector. So, which means that if people like some of you who are considering to come to New Zealand to do take up courses in construction or civil engineering or in infrastructure, so on and so forth, it's a good time to consider New Zealand because obviously the government is now putting a lot of emphasis, and that's why they came out with construction and infrastructure skill shortages as another list. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And going on to our team, so the chat here, we have a few people. A lot of my team members have already joined in. Hello, gang. Lovely to say hello to all of you. And there's somebody called Grey Matter who says, "So, where is sister?" We posted that she would come live now. Well, like we said, gray matter. Unfortunately, Mary was not feeling too well, so she had to, take the day off. And because we did advertise, and that's the beauty about working with AJB. It's not just me who is a licensed advisor, or just Mary who is a licensed advisor, but we also have Gisela Combrink, who is also one of our colleague, who is also a licensed advisor. So we are already three licensed advisors in the company, and one more of our colleague called Tulika. She has also started her course for the graduate diploma in New Zealand immigration advice, and she's going to be a licensed advisor hopefully by July. So, which means AJB will continue to grow with a lot of good advisors. So, you guys will have access to some really, really good bunch of people who are not just saying we know about New Zealand immigration matters, but we will have a license and we will have our competency to portray in front of you and tell you, hey, look, we know what we're talking about. So trust AJB, guys. If you're serious about New Zealand, we are the people to talk to. All right, cool. First question from Govind Nair. He has asked this query from YouTube, and he says, I'm a BCom graduate. I have 6 months diploma in logistics. I have also completed MBA through distance education. I think he says he's an AJB student. Thanks for that, Govind. I have enrolled for the course in business logistics and supply at EIT Napier. I'm a complete fresher. Will it be hard for me to find a job after the course? Arvind, I think I have actually made a video and put it up there, which talks about why it may not be such a difficult, easy thing for freshers sometimes to find their career after completing a course. At the same time, it is not impossible either. I mean, you've got to bear in mind everybody was a fresher at some point in their life. I was a fresher at some point in my life, and eventually I had to, I did a BCom honors. By the way, those are all my certificates, up there. And that one right there, that's my BCom honors one. All right, so yeah, at some point we are all freshers. So you got to make that break into your career. As far as New Zealand is concerned, what happens, Govind, is while you are a fresher, the fact is after you complete your course, you'll get your post-study work visa, which means you're depending on the duration and the level of your course, because you're going to do, I think you're planning to do, I'm thinking it's going to be a graduate diploma in logistics and supply chain. And because you're doing it outside Auckland and Napier, you're going to get a 2 years post-study work visa, which means that will allow you 2 whole years after you complete your course in New Zealand to be here and to find your footing here. Not only that, even while you're doing the course itself, while you're still studying the course itself, you would be able to do some part-time work and begin to get that little bit of experience that will start prepping you. And the other thing I keep telling guys all the time is going overseas is not just what you learn inside the classroom. In fact, there's a lot of learning that happens outside the classroom. And because of that, you tend to mature a little faster. So, and all these little aspects help you to kind of get to that place of being a more mature career seeker a little faster. So, and of course, you're coming as an AGB student. We have a full-fledged support system for people like you after you reach New Zealand, so that we are continuously able to talk to you and ensure that we are holding your hand and guiding you. Will help you with your CV preparation. Will help you with your cover letter preparation, and we have a person whose only job is to try and assist and guide all our young students. So don't worry too much about it. Come with a nice open free mind. Don't project yourself too much into the future wondering what's going to happen 3 years down the road. Come in. You're coming into a good country which requires good skilled people, good young skilled people, and you're coming through a company like AJB, which is also there to support you guys. So I think you, all things considered, you should be all right. Okay, cool. Take care. Aniet ask, I have a question for our Arun, whom I consulted more than a year ago. Oh, well, I mean, ask a question and I will definitely answer. Vivek Anandan says, hi, sir, I'm AGB student. I got my offer letter from Welltech for graduate diploma in engineering, and I have doubt regarding funds for fees and living expenses. I'm getting loan. I will get 85% of amount as loan, and rest 15% is my margin amount. I want to know that my margin amount will be around 3 lakhs INR. The funds will not be 6 months old. Then how can I apply for visa July intake? Hey, look, Vivek, thanks for asking your question. Appreciate the fact that you're reaching out to me here in this forum. But you know what? You're already an AGV student and you're asking a very, how do I say, a procedural kind of a question, which I think our visa team is very, very well equipped to answer. So our team, Vivek, which consists of the visa team, which is called our service team or our admissions and visas team, is actually headed by an ex-immigration officer of New Zealand who worked in the student visa department of Immigration New Zealand. She is assisted by two other wonderful professionals who are also both ex-immigration officers of the Department of Immigration New Zealand. And then they have their case officers with them, and then they have their admissions team with them. So all put together, that's a super confident team of people who not only know each and every aspect of how to present this particular case, but they are also, people who continue to do exactly the same kind of work which they did earlier, which is to try and pick the best talent and quality for New Zealand. And so they'll be the best people to answer this particular question, Vivek, because in all fairness, my expertise today in this company as the senior person, as a senior licensed advisor, is I do not really deal with actual student visa applications any longer. I do deal with the higher end of visas, like I deal with resident visa cases, I deal with entrepreneur visas, I deal with investor category visas, and some of the more complicated stuff. So I'm not saying student visas are not complicated. I'm just saying that we have a super solid team of people working in the student visa team. And like I told you, it's actually headed by an ex-immigration officer who was part of the student processing team of Immigration New Zealand. So I don't think there'll be a better people to answer your questions about student visas than them. So kindly continue to speak to your case officer, Vivek, and at any time you think that, hey, look, I want an answer from a senior person, just request your case officer saying, can I speak to the team leader or to the manager, and you will definitely be connected to them. We are we are quite a simple, straightforward kind of a company. We are not people who are hiding behind suits or hiding behind. No, we just and in fact, one of my directives to my team this year is that we should all just pick up the phone and speak to each other when there is a problem or an issue, and let's just communicate openly with each other, and and just make this thing happen instead of hiding behind emails and stuff like that. So that's exactly my message to our clients as well. When you want to speak to somebody, you want to speak to me, come and chat with me on our live sessions or ping me on my email or wherever. If I'm around, I will answer. If I'm not around, I'll have somebody else answer. So don't worry about it. Just ask to speak to a senior and they'll sort out your problem. All right? Cool. Whoa, that was a long answer. Anamika finally says hello. Hi, Anamika. How are you? Nice name, by the way. Hawa Bibi Patel. For master in New Zealand, Indian 3 year graduation, and which 1 year course available in India? I have, all right. So, Hawa Bibi, I'm not sure how to answer your question because I can't quite figure it out. But so if you could please reframe that for me, I'll probably come back and answer. In the meantime, I'll move on to Anamika and says, I have applied for visa since January and yet and not received any response. My classes are starting from 4th March. What are the hopes now? Can you please look into it? I am an AJB student. Hey, Anamika, thank you so much for reaching out and talking to us. I'll be honest with you, this is a massive concern, not just for you individual students. It's been a massive concern for us as an organization. It has been a massive concern for a lot of institutions in New Zealand because obviously they plan to have the full set of students in their classroom for the academic year. But I think what has happened is that last year immigration, New Zealand has gone through a very big restructuring exercise. So what they have done is they've actually begun to shut down a lot of their branches across the world, and they're now trying to consolidate their operations into 3 or 4 major centers, and which is why Mumbai has now become one of the key processing centers, especially for student visas and those kinds of visas. So that is one thing that has happened. Uh, but I think because of all this restructuring and the fact that January, February, March are the peak season for the Immigration Department of New Zealand, because not only are the student visas coming in, but it's also the peak season for tourists coming into New Zealand as well. And I think because of that, the reorganization, they're still sitting there. I think, and I'm speculating a little bit here. I don't know for sure. I'm just speculating. I'm thinking the reorganization and the fact that it's the peak season for tourists as well as for students has created a bit of a backlog in applications, Anamika. And quite frankly, it is very disheartening for us as well, because we are obviously reliant on having a certain number of students enrolling into institutions, and you as individual students have planned this for a while and trying to take it to the next step. Because your course is starting on 4th of March, I think there is still a possibility we should be able to pull something out for you. The fact is that you will also get some extension. With the extension, which normally is for 2 weeks, so it will be about 4th plus 14 would be around 15th to 17th of March would be the absolute cutoff. So because we have some time, I will ask my team to send another escalation email to the team, to the immigration team in Mumbai. Unfortunately, sometimes they send us a standard answer back saying, "Hey, look, there's still a long queue. We're trying to allot it." So that's the reality, and I'm not trying to mince my words about it. Worst case scenario, there will be a follow-up intake, not beyond 2 to 3 months or maximum 4 months. So worst case scenario, all we can request you is we will try. I mean, I'm not saying already that it is definitely a gone scenario. I'm just saying that worst case scenario, we will push and see what we can do about your case. But in the event that's not happening, please bear in mind it's just a few months more, and you don't have to do anything other than sit tight. Our team will come back with the deferred offer letter for whichever is the next intake available. So kindly be patient, kindly cooperate with us, because this is not something that we have created as an issue for you. It is simply the sheer number of applications that Immigration New Zealand is trying to deal with. And because of that, I think there's a bit of a backlog and a bit of a jam. So, hey, look, if you're patient and cooperate with us, we will see how best we can push it forward. All right, Anamika. I know I wish I could say, yeah, we'll definitely get it done, but that's the other thing that I cannot say as a responsible licensed immigration advisor, or quite simply just as your advisor. Nobody should ever give certain answers about immigration matters, because immigration matters are not simple. Immigration matters are quite complex. In fact, so we applied for another student visa all the way back in the month of November for the February intake. And that particular case has also still not come through, despite the fact we thought it was a straightforward case. But obviously, the visa officer assessing it looks at it with different views. So we just have to be patient sometimes with this process, Anamika. But like I said, I will tell my team. And hey, team, if you're already watching, please make a note of Anamika's name and let's send an escalation email and let's hope for the best. All right, Anamika. But please be patient, bear with us. If not February, you will definitely be here in the next 3 or 4 months following, and we will definitely get to see you here in New Zealand. So do not lose the faith in New Zealand or in the process or in us or in your own dreams for for the country and your future. So just hang in there. In the long, like I said, I started this by saying I'm a 50-year-old guy. So I don't even know where those 50 years went away. So when 50 years seemed like the blink of an eye, 3 or 4 months would hardly be anything. All right. So please be patient, hang in there, and we will get together in New Zealand very, very soon. All right. Thanks, Anamika. Cool. Magi Tamizan. All right. Sir, I'm a registered nurse, got nearly 7 years experience. Can you suggest which course should I take? And you've shared your number. Hey, Magi, thank you so much for sharing your number. Much appreciated. In each of my broadcasts, I do always say thank you so much for all the people who trust us enough to be able to, um, uh, you know, share your contact details. And that's the other thing, guys. When you're asking me questions, it will be very nice if you can share your contact details. If you don't want to do it in a public forum, just inbox it to us. And I keep forgetting. The other thing you guys can do is considering we have a lot of our students coming from India, we have set up a toll-free number. So all you guys got to do is just call. If you're based in India, just call that toll-free number 1-800-103-6525. If you're not based in India, just send an email to info@ajvglobal.com. And if you guys are based in New Zealand and you want some immigration advice, you can call Mary, my senior colleague, and also fellow licensed immigration advisor. That's her number, or you can just send us an email to immigrationadvisor@ajvglobal.com. So I was just sharing that because I was talking about the fact that Magi gave her number. I was talking about our numbers. So what I would recommend, Magi, is because you shared your number, we'll have one of our people talk to you. Because for nurses, I think the simplest thing we can do for nurses is that we have something called the CAP course, which is it's like the assessment program, competency assessment program, really, where you can have a look at where the nursing council kind of looks at this course, allows them to see what is your competency basically, and then take it forward from there. But then who knows, if that is not the right fit for you, then I think our team would also get in touch with you and recommend certain, maybe a health related course which would give you a longer tenure to stay in New Zealand. And with a longer tenure, provides more opportunities. So thanks for sharing your number, Magi, and I think one of our team will get in touch with you very, very soon. All right, cool. Hey team, if you're making a note of this, please get in touch with Magi because he or she has shared the number, and so you can give a call and say hello to them immediately. All right, cool. Next question is Lovedeep Singh. He says, hello, sir. Is New Zealand accept graduation in distance education? Because I won't get admission in level 7 and diploma, and you have given your contact numbers. Hey, you know what, Lovedeep, much appreciate again that you have shared your number as well. Thank you so much. I don't see any reason why New Zealand should not accept a distance education qualification because distance doesn't matter if it's a. For instance, that particular course I did, that one there, which was called the graduate certificate in New Zealand immigration advice, was distance education. I actually didn't go and attend colleges. I did it from Institute of Technology called Bay of Plenty Polytechnic, which has now merged with another one, and together it's called Toya Homai. So that was a distance education course as well. So if New Zealand can recognize that distance education course and give someone like me a license to practice and become a licensed immigration advisor. I don't see any problem with distance education courses, to be honest. Technically, there should not be any problems. And that's the kind of fights we guys fight, Lovedeep, by the way. If tomorrow, when we're fighting a case and the immigration officer writes back to us and says, "Hey, look, this is a distance education course. We may not be willing to, consider it." If it's a really from, little small institution, we might say, "Yeah, yeah, sure. You don't have much of a chance." But if it's a distance education course, let's say from IGNU or one of those nice big universities or institutions in India, which actually offer distance education courses, I don't see any reason. So, in fact, if I'm not mistaken, there was a time, or even now, that they do accept degrees from IGNU, which is Indira Gandhi National Open University, and a few other open universities where they do accept it. So I don't see any problem with it, Lovely, to be honest. So what I'll do is, because you've shared your number, team, get in touch with them right away. It will be awesome if we can connect with them even before I finish the session today. So yeah, just connect with them and check what level 7 he's looking for. I've cleared this query whether distance education would be accepted. Like I said, there should not be a problem if it is from a decent institution. If they have any queries about it, don't worry, we'll fight it. And that's what we are good at. Like I said, we're a very competent team. We are not working against INZ. We are working with INZ in the sense that we understand what they are trying to do, and we try to align our activities with that. But hey, look, like all colleagues, sometimes there will be two different points of view, and if we have to disagree, we will disagree, and probably create a dialogue where they might turn back and say, "Yeah, sure, what's the problem with the distance education thing?" So we are good at doing things like that. So trust us, work with us, and we'll get you there. All right, thank you. Justin Jones, hi sir, I usually see your videos. Thank you, Justin. I think it really helped me. Apart from that, I completely, okay, back for my glasses to go back on again. Okay, apart from that, I completed my 12th in 2018 and planning to take course in diploma in professional cookery, level 5 in New Zealand. So cookery course has any scope in New Zealand, and it is applicable to apply for or after my studies? Good question, Justin. First and foremost, thanks for watching my videos. I hope you find them encouraging and wanting to, get up and do something about your future here in New Zealand. Cookery courses in New Zealand, of course, chefs are in the long-term skill shortage list of New Zealand, Justin. And this is, I think, from the hospitality industry, or if you look at that particular grouping of different occupational groups and stuff like that. On the hospitality, there is and recreation, there is just chefs who are in the long-term skill shortage list of New Zealand. So absolutely good scope. Why? Because we as a country are heavily reliant on tourism. In fact, tourism is one of our top industries, and we get tons and tons and tons of tourists coming into New Zealand. And if we're getting so many tourists into New Zealand, excuse me, somebody's got to feed them. So who's going to feed them? Are the good old chefs who've got to get inside a restaurant and start cooking. So yeah, absolutely. If you go to our YouTube channel called AJV Global, we actually put up some videos of some of our successful students who have completed a course in chefing, and they've come on into now the mainstream, they've picked up jobs, and a lot of them have gone on to pick up residency as well. In fact, one of my most favorite students who did a chefing course in New Zealand, he now works for the Navy, the New Zealand Navy. I think he's actually a chef on one of the ships in the Navy. So yeah, absolutely good scope, Justin. And thank you so much for sharing your number. Our team will get in touch with you. Kindly respond to them when they get in touch with you. And I look forward to seeing you here in New Zealand. Not only look forward to seeing you here in New Zealand, I'll look forward to eating some of your food here in New Zealand. All right, take care. The Torian. Good question. The Torian says, "Hi, sir. I'm an HAV student already in New Zealand. Hamilton would like to know, when are you going to have a meet and greet session in Hamilton? I also have students who are willing to join HAV." Hey, look, thank you so much, Torian. We would love to meet you. You know what? Let's catch up very soon. I'm actually traveling over this weekend, and I'm back by middle of next week back to Hamilton. After I'm back, let's set up a meeting. I'd love to come and meet my students, and it's not only those students in Hamilton or Auckland. I love to go everywhere and meet my students. I've done solo trips just to go and meet one student sometimes because, hey, look, you're all our students. You're all part of our extended family. You guys come this far because you trusted us. We will stand by you. Don't you worry about it. We will soon have a meet and greet in Hamilton. And I promise you, I will also challenge you to a game of table tennis because so far none of our students have beaten me in a game of table tennis. So I'm going to challenge you at TT Torian, and if you beat me, I'll buy you beer that evening. All right, take care. Right, Revant Kedby says, hello, sir. This is Revant, AJB client, and applied GD in engineering, mechanical, and Wintech and Weltech. Got rejection due to previous academic performance. So my case officer suggested me taking GD in operations and production management. So applied Wintech, UCall, and WIT. I got an offer letter for the course in Wintech. My doubt is whether it comes under skill shortage list. Does it come under change of field, career opportunities? Does it affect my PR points? Okay, good questions there, Revant. I actually have made one pretty long video, and it's sitting on my YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and type Arun Jacob New Zealand, and you would be able to get my channel, of course, and have a look at the how I've explained in that video. So I will not get too deep into that explanation right now. But the fact is, you did attempt to get into a particular course first, which was probably more suiting your background and your aspirations. But unfortunately, none of the institutions give you an offer. So this is a like a related. I'm actually quite happy with my case officer who suggested this course, which is GD in Operations and Production Management, because it is quite closely aligned to what is it that you really wanted to do. I would also like to suggest, if you're, I don't know which intake you're planning, but because you have an interest in mechanical, also talk to your case officer and ask them to check the possibility of getting you into the graduate diploma in CAD CAM, which is, computer aided design and computer aided manufacturing, which is again very closely related not only to mechanical engineering but a lot of other engineering fields as well. So request your case officer, and if that particular case officer is listening to my broadcast right now, I would also recommend him or her to consider also applying for the graduate diploma in CAD CAM, which is, I think, a good, good related course. And yeah, I'd strongly recommend that. Uh, yeah, as far as in the worst case scenario, where if you do have to get into operations and production management, I don't think it's going to create much of a problem because at the least you're going to get a 2-year work visa in those 2 years if you can. And the fact is, you already have a background in mechanical engineering. So there is a possibility, even if you do get a job related to mechanical engineering as a licensed immigration advisor, myself or Mary or Gisela would be able to match and show why there is still a connect between your past qualification and the job that you've got. So there are ways and means of doing this. So I don't think you should doubt yourself too much or the possibility or the career opportunities. There are a lot of people who come and take up this aligned courses rather than something in that particular field. So I don't really see a problem with that, Raven. I think you should go ahead confidently, but do ask your case officer, whoever the person is. I think, yeah, I think I just got the feedback from my team. See how cool we guys are. We are all there. We go. Raven is Madhvi's client. So speak to Madhvi. Let Madhvi know that I recommended to also check the possibility of getting an admission from the graduate diploma in CAD CAM, which I think is a very good course because it's very specific, technical, and there's always a requirement for CAD CAM people. So ask her, and if she will, let her apply. And if there is still a problem, then I think it can fall back onto your your operations and production management, which is an aligned course. It is not dramatically different. And like I said, we are here present in New Zealand to guide you, so don't worry too much about it. All right. And hey, look, Revan, thank you so much for choosing to work with us. We really appreciate that. Each and every one of you guys and girls who choose to work with AJV, thank you from the bottom of my heart and from the bottom of the collective heart of my entire team. We're truly grateful to you because without you guys, we don't exist. So, Thank you for choosing us. And the fact is, we are very, very picky and choosy about the kind of students and clients we work with. So if we also said, okay, we're going to work with you, it means we find that quality in you, and that's the reason you're working with us. So yeah, all the best. And once we believe in you, we will fight it out. And once you reach here, we will support you as well. All right. So guys, you want to come to New Zealand? We are the people to talk to. And if you guys are watching this from India, that's the numbers to call. That's the toll-free number we set up. If you're not from India, just email us at info@ajvglobal.com. And if you guys are watching this in New Zealand and you guys are looking at wanting to, get advice, further advice, if you're already here and you want advice about spouse visas or essential skills work visas or residence visas and so on and so forth, the lady to speak to is Mary Joseph. That's her, the lady who was supposed to be on this live session today, but well, she wasn't feeling too well, so I stepped in. Here we are. Right. Varsha, hi. Okay. All right. Varsha says hi, sir. I thought the hi part was also part of her name. Hi, Varsha. I'm an agriculture postgraduate. Whether I can come to New Zealand for further study, to study further, whether agriculture is included in the short-term list. All right. Hey, Varsha, and I just answered that question a little time back about not being too fixated about a course being in the long-term skill shortage list. Like I said, there are a lot of people who, like, for instance, there are very, very few business courses. Excuse me. There are very, very few business courses which are actually on the long-term skill shortage list. In fact, there's only one course, and that course under the business and finance, grouping, is called the procurement manager. That's it. There's no other business course which is there on the long-term skill shortage list. But I bet 35 to 40% of the students, international students coming into New Zealand, are coming for business courses. There it is. The matter, it's as simple as that. So you're coming here not only to get good, nice, high quality education, and please choose your institutions properly, which will happen well when you work with a good company like AGV, because we only work with the best institutions in New Zealand. And so it doesn't matter whether it's a long-term skill shortage list or not, because we have requirements in every field across New Zealand. I mean, it's not just in business. For instance, one of our students who came to New Zealand and is doing a course in filmmaking is now working, doing part-time work for us. Why? Because my company had a need to make videos and do this kinds of things. So we hired Nicholas, who is one of our own students, and gave him a job. And the other day he called me and said, "Hey, Arun, is it possible that after I complete my course, you'd be able to hire me full time?" I said, "I don't see any reason why we will not do it if the company has got adequate funding at the time, and we continue to use video as a platform and a medium for us to keep propagating our message to all you guys." So yeah, so if Nicholas had sat back in India and said, "Oh, but filmmaking is not in the long-term skill shortage list, what will I do?" Look at it, he would have probably let go of a very big opportunity. So you should stop thinking around the long-term skill shortage list, because New Zealand is wanting people across the board. We want people to work in retail. We want people to work in our health sector. We want people to work in our insurance sector. We want people to work everywhere, So I mean, tomorrow I might require the need of a business manager for my company as we keep growing. So it doesn't mean that it's not, because it's not in the skill shortage list, that we will not be able to hire somebody. So I would say forget the fact whether it's in the skill shortage list or not. Agriculture also is, I think, to the best of my knowledge, not mentioned in the long-term skill shortage list. But I could do a quick check while we are talking. No, agriculture, I can't see anything in the long-term skill shortage list which mentions agriculture. But you've got to bear in mind that New Zealand is still a very agrarian economy. Our economy is largely based around agriculture and viticulture and the dairy industry and so on and so forth. So farming is something that's massive for us. In fact, it is so big that two of our universities here in New Zealand started with only agriculture as their main focus area. For instance, if I take the name of Lincoln University in Christchurch, absolutely was started purely as an agriculture university. So what does it mean? It means that New Zealand has got a requirement for people in the agriculture sector. and we will need to continue to grow. In fact, you guys can't see it now, but just outside this big glass doors I have in my office, I see nice beautiful fields, and I see a nice big mountain on the horizon. So yeah, agriculture is all around us in New Zealand, Varsha. So I think you really must come here, and you will do really well. Thanks for sharing your number. One of our team members will get in touch with you, and we will take it from there. All right. Thank you. Okay. Krishal Mehta. I'm right now studying in TY BSc, would be third year BSc IT. How to get job in New Zealand after completing my BSc in IT, and he's shared this number. Hey, Krishal, thank you so much for sharing your number and asking a question as well. You're still in your third year BSc and you're doing your IT, which is great, fantastic subject. The whole world is revolving around information technology now. I think practically everything we do and aspire to do is somehow or the other related to information technology. So yeah, great course choice. How do you get a job in New Zealand? Not very easy when you're outside New Zealand, especially if you're going to just complete your course and you're going to be a fresher with little or no experience. It's going to be very, very difficult for you to find a job directly in New Zealand. So what do we advise people like you? We advise people like you, hey, look, why don't you make an investment of a little bit of money, time, and effort? Get yourself, because you're going to be completing your bachelor's, come for a postgraduate course in information technology. Make a small investment of whatever it takes, about $20,000 to get yourself into a 1 year postgraduate diploma, perhaps. Once you complete that postgraduate diploma, you'll get a 3 years work visa here, Krishal. Now that is how you get a work visa. Now, when you get a work visa, you get the legal working rights in New Zealand. So now you do not only have a bachelor's in information technology from your home country, I'm thinking, which is India, you would have a postgraduate course qualification here in New Zealand. While you're studying here, you would have also made a little bit of networking and understood how New Zealand works, so on and so forth. After you complete your course, you have a 3 year post-study work visa. So that's another thing that you already have with you. And then you can get out into the job market and start saying, hey guys, look, this is my background, completed my, and if you're coming to New Zealand as an AJB client, you will also have us as ready references. In fact, today in the morning, I got a call, though practically the moment I woke up, there was a call on my phone, and there was an employer who was asking for a reference check from one of my our students. So yeah, I said, yeah, we know this person, and gave a nice reference check. They were happy. Hopefully, I think the student's name was Arvind. Hopefully, Arvind has got the job, and that's how it works. So all put together, Krishal, you've got to get yourself into New Zealand and make an attempt to get a job here. Quite, I won't say it is very easy, because it's not easy. It will be challenging, but because it is challenging is why there are people like AJB, and AJB is not just this individual. We are about 32 people, very good professionals, and we are about 5 or 6 people also based here in New Zealand. So we were there to guide you, help you with your CVs, your cover letters, so on and so forth, and ensure that you get your, uh, the right footing to be able to make a go for that career eventually. All right, so that's the way you do it, Krishal. And because you've shared your number, I will ask our team to get in touch with you. Do not think, oh, do I have to study again? Do I have to pay money again? I mean, you got to bear in mind that no investment, no return. So, and it's a small investment to make. $20,000 is probably will be the approximate cost of the fee of the course. But while you're doing that course, you can also do part-time work and earn yourself enough to be able to take care of yourself. And once you finish your course, and let's say you find that job and get into it, what is $20,000? You'll earn it back in about 6 to 7 months time. So that's the way you've got to look at planning, not just Krishal, but everybody else who's all wondering and saying, oh, but this is a lot of money. How do I spend it? Why should I spend it? It's a small investment to make, guys. It's not a very big investment. You're making an investment of $20,000 as your course fee for a 1 year postgraduate diploma in New Zealand, and you're getting a 3 year work visa. Even if you don't get into your IT and end up doing some of the work, I bet you will go back with at least 2 or 3 times of the money you invested into your studies. So you've got to think about it that way. Of course, I'm not encouraging anybody to not think about your career. If you're coming for IT, you must try and get into an IT job, and that is where a company like AJB can be of massive help to guys like you, because we're going to be constantly talking to you and encouraging you to get into the right thing. All right, Krishal. So I hope you'll consider this seriously. The study plus subtle pathway. Have a chat with our team. No obligations, guys. When our team calls, don't think we are some kind of bloodsuckers who are gonna, latch into you and suck your blood out till and tell you you have to get now onto a plane and go to New Zealand. We do not do that. All right. Cool. Okay, Bipin Tom Thomas. Is arrears an issue for getting student visa? Bipin, you've got to be a bit more elaborate as to what arrears are you talking about, because arrears can mean a lot of things. Arrears to who? Is it arrears to your employer, arrears to your government, arrears to the government of New Zealand? You've got to be clear. Only then we'll be able to answer that. If there are arrears pending towards the government of New Zealand, I certainly think it will be an issue. But if it's not to the government of New Zealand or not to your employer, then I think you'll probably be all right. But because you've shared your number, we will get in touch with you, talk to you, and like I said, our visa team is extremely professional. We have three ex-immigration officers who now head that visa team of ours. We will all, and there are three licensed immigration advisors in the company sitting in New Zealand, and one more of our colleagues who's also an ex-immigration officer is now doing the course to become a licensed officer, immigration advisor. Between all of us, we have a lot of expertise to unravel all the aspects of a visa application and take it to its logical conclusion. So, hey, look, thanks for sharing your number. Our team will get in touch. When they get in touch, hey, please pick up the phone and talk. And for the rest of you who are just watching this broadcast and you want to get in touch with our team, if you don't want to share your number, that's what you do. Call that toll-free number if you're based in India. If you're not based in India, just send us an email, info@ajbglobal.com. If you guys are based in New Zealand, that's the lady to call. Her name is Mary Joseph. That's her number, or you can just email immigration advisor at ajbglobal.com. Cool. Sushma Kurich, respected sir. I'm a BCom graduate and currently doing CA. Wanted to know about the scope of MBA finance and job prospects. Sushma, I think I just kind of answered that question quite elaborately in my previous response to the lady who was asking me about agriculture. Again, like I said, agriculture is something that's all around us here in New Zealand. So is finance, beautiful subject to be part of. No company would survive. No economy would survive. No institution would survive without people like yourself. People with finance backgrounds and that kind of a background. So yeah, it'll be very, very cool to uh, you know, uh, have people like you also come and explore your possibilities in New Zealand. What about job prospects? Like I said, definitely, because the finance is all around us. It's not like for instance, if I take the example of animation, for instance, animation is not necessarily all around us all the time, but something like finance is always around us all the time. So yeah, I mean, absolutely, I don't see any reason why you will not do well here in New Zealand, Sushma, and also because you're going to be a chartered accountant. In fact, recently one of our students who came to Hamilton to study at the University of Waikato. I keep doing that because it's that in that direction. I'm in the same city right now. So she came and she did a course, and she also was a chartered accountant like you, and she did a course in University of Waikato. She did a course related to finance, and and when she came, we met. We had that meet and greet. So we all met at a pub, and she said, and what I did is I told her that I'll introduce her to my own chartered accountant, which I did. So I connected her to my chartered accountant and two, three other people in the finance industry. And then she got some inputs from them, and it went on. And then, hey, look, hey, presto, she finished the course. She found a good job in finance sector, and she's gone to, I think, to the South Island now. So that's where she is, Sushma. So definitely possibilities, Sushma. Nothing to be concerned about. I think you should make the move. All right. Thanks for sharing your number. Our team will get in touch with you. Go. All right. Narinder Thakur, business administration scope in New Zealand. Hey, Narinder, I just answered that question. Finance, business administration, they're all the same. anything related to business. Like I said, we are a small economy. We are not a massive economy like the US or Germany or Japan or India or China, stuff like. But hey, look, in our own little small economy, there is always a requirement for professionals in business and finance and everything. And like I said, if you're coming for a postgraduate course at level 8 or above, or if you're coming for a bachelor's course, you will be able to get a 3 years post-study work visa, long enough time to be able to get yourself into this country, into the opportunity zone, and then make a go for it. And Tauranga, yeah, it's a growing city. Tauranga is probably one of the fastest growing cities in New Zealand right now. It is not too far away from Hamilton. I tend to go to Tauranga once in a while. It's about an hour and a half. But Tauranga is absolutely going through a boom at the moment. So I think, yeah, you'll probably have a good opportunity there as well, Narendra. But like I said, even if you think Tauranga is too small eventually, it's only till the time of your studies that you're going to be in the city. And then once you're done with your studies, you can go to one of the bigger centers like Auckland or Christchurch or Wellington or Hamilton or Dunedin and seek your career opportunities there. Thanks for sharing your number. Our team will get in touch with you and put some options in front of you. All right. Thanks, Narinder. All right, Jagannath Sabkar. Hey, everyone. Good evening. I'm an AJV student. Thank you, Jagannath. Wonderful to say hello to my own students all the time. Thank you so much, guys, for choosing to work with us. All right, I have accepted the offer from UCall for graduate diploma in project management and currently working with Srinija for my visa. Can you please talk on Palmerston North City in terms of job and other facilities? All right, good question. And absolutely delighted to answer that, Jagannath. Palmerston North is quite close to Wellington, which is our capital city. Palmerston North in itself is not a small city. It is a reasonably big city. There was a time when, I'll be honest, I'm being brutally honest with you guys. There was a time when I hadn't traveled extensively across New Zealand that I used to think that, hey, but it may not be a good idea for students to go to smaller towns and smaller cities, but I have completely changed my mind about it because I have done some seriously extensive traveling all across New Zealand. And by that I mean I have traveled from Cape Ranga, which is right at the top of the northern tip of the country, and to a city at the bottom tip called Bluff. So Cape Ranga to Bluff, the North Island and the South Island, and we have the Cook Strait in between. And you can go drive from Cape Ranga up to Wellington and take the ferry, drive your car onto it, and then get on into the South Island. And you can drive to Bluff and then do it. I have done it 2 times. I've gone tip to tip of New Zealand 2 times. I've been to practically every city and town in New Zealand, and those trips changed my mind about uh, whether people will find opportunities or not. Because, for instance, if I say the name of a town called Tokorua, or a smaller city in this region called Waikato, it's called Tokorua. You guys probably have not heard about it, but Tokorua has got its own little thriving community. It's got its own thriving business, so on and so forth. So, in that context, Palmerston North is much better in terms bigger and definitely scope. It is all about getting out there and creating your opportunities and talking to people. And Palmerston North is also the city which has got UCall, and it's also got Massey University. So, and because of that, there will always be a good thriving economy. So I don't see any reason why you will not do well in Palmerston North. Jagannath, we guys call it, we shorten it and we call it PAMI. So anytime we say PAMI, it is Palmerston North. So New Zealanders have this thing of shortening everything. So, if you have sunglasses, they'll become sunnies. Wellington becomes Welly. Palmerston North becomes Palmy. So that's how it is. So Palmy is a good town, and I think you'll do quite well there. So, and you're working with one of our uh, good processing officers. Thank you so much for choosing to work with us. Like I said, it doesn't end after you get your visa. It actually starts after you get your visa and you land in New Zealand. We are here on the ground in New Zealand to constantly talk to you, encourage you, guide you, and ensure that you continue to keep growing. All right, cool. Okay. The Torian. Hey, Torian, you got to tell me your name, man. You just keep writing the Torian. Okay. Torian writes again. Hi, sir. Big thanks to AJB team, due to which I am able to live my dream. Oh, that's superb. That's beautiful to hear, Torian. It's been 4 months for me here, and it already feels like home to me. Special thanks to Ruben. Can we have a meet in Hamilton? Absolutely. I think I already committed that to. I already also challenged you to table tennis. And if I actually have a table tennis right here behind this computer, so you could probably come home and you guys will have a game. All right, cool. And hey, Ruben, if you're watching, well done. There's somebody saying you did a good job. Thanks, guys, all my entire team. I never stop complimenting them and telling them how wonderful they are. And these are not just empty compliments that I pay them. I strongly believe these are all really, really good people who came together for a common purpose. And just yesterday, I was telling somebody in my team that I give genuine compliments to great people, and if that makes for a good company, so be it. That's all it's all about. So we are a really, really good team, guys. So you can trust us. Come to New Zealand through us, and we will stand by you. We're just simple, straightforward people. If we can do it, we will tell you yes, we can do it. If we can't do it, we'll tell you no, we can't do it, but we'll find somebody who can do it, and we'll try and connect you to those people. All right, cool. Okay, right. Ah, right here. I'm just looking at my comments from my team. I've got to keep following what these guys are saying as well. Otherwise, they'll all shout at me after the session is over. There you go. Okay. Amal Ne Raj Nanda. Hi, I'm Amal. Can I get 50 points for Indian BCom as overseas education qualification for New Zealand PR purpose? If not, is it difficult to try for NZPR? Amal, if only getting residency or PR, as most of you guys like to call it, was as simple as getting 50 points for an Indian BCom, trust me, life would have been so much more simpler for a lot of people. It is not that simple. In fact, last year after they changed the rules, now it is mandatory that for anybody to get residency in New Zealand, and first you get residency and then you get permanent residency, which is PR. But first you need to get your residency. So for it's become mandatory now for anybody who is seeking to get residency in New Zealand that you should have skilled employment in New Zealand or an offer of skilled employment in New Zealand. Or B, you should have studied in New Zealand for at least 2 years and acquired a qualification, which is a master's or a PhD. So those are the two main criteria that need to be met. In case you cannot meet these two criteria, but you still have a good background, the right qualification, definitely not a BCom. I don't think BCom will get you there. But if let's say you are a BTech, IT, or a B mechanical engineering and those highly skilled kind of things, then you probably if you're still crossing those 160 points, then potentially you could apply for something called the skilled migrant category job search visa. And so what we do, and for all of you guys listening in and who want to know how that happens, just send us your CV, email your CV to immigration advisor at ajvglobal.com. I'll just hold it up for a minute. There you go. Okay, cool. Yeah. So if in case, or you can WhatsApp or call Mary on that number. She's our licensed immigration advisor who deals with resident visa cases. So if any of you guys are wondering, hey, look, will I get the required number of points, just send us your CVs to that email address. If you're married, we also would like to get the CV of your spouse because the spouse qualification also does add some points to the overall assessment. So let us know about send it to us, and then we will do an assessment. If you are able to qualify for the job search visa, as I told you, we will try and tell you the next steps and share the costs involved. If you're not qualifying, we will definitely put the study plus settle pathway option in front of you. You guys and girls can examine it. If it suits you, great. If it doesn't suit you, doesn't matter. You have tried, we have tried, we have all tried. We will remain good friends and we can go our separate ways. All right? Cool. With us. And Amal, I also just got a confirmation from my team, which is not very nice. My team says that you're just, extracting information from us, and you don't want to start your process with us because we are an online company. Does this look online to you? There is a guy sitting in New Zealand and talking to you, and the only way I can communicate is through this mediums like media, like Facebook and YouTube. You think this sounds like an online company? I mean, just the fact that we're giving you convenience of you guys not having to travel and coming and meeting us in our offices doesn't mean we are an online company. We are real people who are working with real people like you, and our actual touch of meeting us and getting the best out of us happens after you come to New Zealand. Now you decide which other company will be able to give you that kind of support. So Amal, I mean, if you're genuinely interested, you must, after this chat from me, especially my direct response to you and request to you, you must get off the wall. Either you must say, yeah, these guys are good, I'm going to go with them, I'm going to go with AJV and go for it, or you must be honest and stop taking information from us, because obviously you're trusting somebody else because we are online. Seriously, you trust Google throughout the day? How many times have you met a Google employee, or you trust Facebook your entire life? How many times have you met? I mean, so it's a little ridiculous for guys to be making statements like that, saying, oh, I can't trust you because you're online. Seriously, man, you're supposed to be this modern day guy who will go with the flow, and we're trying to make your life comfortable and convenient. If you guys really are very keen to come and meet somebody, so be it. Get onto a train or bus and travel 1.5 2 hours and go meet those people. So yeah, anyway, so Amal, hopefully after this you will stop taking information and take a good firm step. Okay, we like good honest people because we are good honest people. So hopefully you and us, we will meet and make this thing happen for you. All right, cool. How am I doing, team? Amal, you're also insisting that our advisor Neha should speak to your parents in Tamil. Unfortunately, I don't think Neha is somebody who's fluent in Tamil. But really, again, see, those are all those things which don't strike the right chord to me. You guys are not kids. If you're still relying on mommy and daddy to hear somebody speaking in Tamil and say, oh, only then I'll send my son, then maybe you're not ready to come to New Zealand, because with that amount of hand holding and still holding on to mummy's little draped sari or whatever, it's not going to work for you, mate. So I think you really need to grow up and be a man and start taking your own decisions. And hey, look, like I said, we are here to help. Good. At the same, when I say we support people after they come to New Zealand, it doesn't mean we're gonna take a spoon and feed you guys food and put you to bed. We're not going to do things like that. What I mean is that we're gonna stand by mature, good students who will take our professional help and our professional courage and our professional mentoring to be able to create their own pathways through this jungle called going overseas and settling down. All right, Amal. So you need to get off the wall, mate. You need to grow up a little bit. All right. Thank you. All right. How am I going, gang? Am I done? Because my throat is giving up. Thankfully, at least today, I'm not coughing and throwing up all over my computer. So, yeah. Okay. Rahul Kumar says, sir, I'm from India and I studied in India, but I want to work in New Zealand. I made my full potential in my studies. It is not only my dream, but it is my aim too that I want to work in New Zealand. Hey, Rahul, I understand. We all want to do. We all have different aspirations. And well, for instance, I would like to set up a branch of my company in America, for instance, but it's sometimes not as easy as that. And especially working in New Zealand is not very easy or simple. I've actually made a video. It's sitting on my YouTube channel. Just go, and I think it's called "How Can I Find a Job?" Excuse me, in New Zealand is what that particular video is called. Go to that video and have a look at it, and it explains very clearly why it is almost impossible to find work in New Zealand when you're not present in the country on a legal work visa. As simple as that. And if you're sitting outside somewhere and you're trying to find work in New Zealand and you keep sending your CVs, the employers here do not understand immigration matters. So why would they bother, or why would they care? about wanting to hire somebody who's from a different culture, different background, who is not present in New Zealand, who does not have the right to work in New Zealand, they wouldn't be bothered. I'm being honest, guys. So that is why we advocate that if you guys are serious about working in New Zealand, you first need to get a work visa. How do you get a work visa? Either somebody makes a job offer, which they will not unless and until you have a work visa. So it's a chicken and egg story. So you got to break that cycle. So what you got to do is invest that money, come into New Zealand, get yourself into a good high quality course, and once you complete that course you will get a work visa either for 1 year or 2 years or 3 years, depending on which city you've studied, what course you've studied, and at what level you have studied. That's pretty much it. So you're now present in the country, you have understood the country, you now have some amount of work experience in New Zealand, because while you're studying as well you would have also done some what do you call amount of part-time work and stuff like that. So you kind of now prep, and then you get the legal ability, because you now have a work visa on your passport, or a printed paper, because nowadays they're giving only e-visas. So you can go onto the job market and say, hey, look, I've got a 3-year work visa, please hire me, and that's how we get your work in New Zealand. So that's the way to do it, Rahul. So you guys will have to make some investment. You can't no pain, no gain, no investment, no return. Simple as that, guys. So do not expect this whole study settle process in New Zealand to be a bed of roses. Do not forget, a bed of roses will also have a lot of thorns in it there. So be prepared for the thorns. I'm the last guy who will try and make it sound like it's the easiest thing in the world. I will only tell you it is possible, and it is definitely possible for people with the right attitude, skills, and knowledge. If you think you're those people with the right attitude, skills, and knowledge, then you need to speak to a company like AJV, because we also have the right attitude, skills, and knowledge. It will be a good match, more than your match and our match. Also, bear in mind that New Zealand has got skill shortages in various areas, and we are trying very hard to attract skilled migrants from different parts of the world, not only in the long-term skill shortage area, but in many other areas. So this country needs good migrants. We require skilled people, and education, I think, is a beautiful pathway, because education also preps you, gives you a local qualification, and helps you to settle down into this country. But all right, guys. Okay, I think I am done. I'm back to my. There you go. When I say the time's up, is that's what I do. So I'm better equipped this session than the last one, where I was coughing my guts out all over my table. All right, cool. Okay, that was it. I think I'm pretty tired and I did it well, but I'm going to say thank you to a lot of other people who asked us questions. Unfortunately, I'm not able to answer all of them. Uh, and my team will connect with you guys. All right. So please kindly, Shreyas Pal says, hi, sir. Why is the delay in student visa from India? Not only in from India, Shreyas, everywhere. Like I said, they have now pretty much made Mumbai as the global processing center for student visas. And I think they're struggling with the load of applications that have come in. So that's pretty much it. It's not only for Indian students. Okay. I like this question. One last question, and then I'm going to go in, because he says I'm a cricketer. I'm also an ex-cricketer, guys. I played a serious amount of cricket in my younger days. I still play club cricket here in Hamilton. At my age, 50 years, I still do wicket keeping, and I still do a decent level of batting. But I absolutely love my wicket keeping, by the way. All right, cool. So last answer for today, and this is from Rinshad, and also because Rinshad shared this number, which is very nice of Rinshad. I'm a cricketer. Which type of visa I need to play club cricket in New Zealand? A cricketer. Which type of visa? Okay. I would like to play pro cricket in New Zealand. I think, Richard, what you've got to do is you've got to start writing to all the different clubs in New Zealand. Again, like I told you, it's not very easy for somebody who is not present in New Zealand to be able to get a work visa. But because you have a very specialized skill like cricket, and if you're any good, and if a club here so you didn't mention at what level you have played, but in the past, I've also had people who have played Ranji Trophy level, and Dulip Trophy and different trophy levels also contacting me. In fact, somebody very senior in the Indian cricket team also asked me what are the possibilities of migration to New Zealand and work visas and stuff like that. So there are these possibilities. But for you to get a work visa, you will need to reach out to all these clubs, cricketing clubs across New Zealand. Share your CV with them and tell them, hey, look, this is my background. Would you be interested to hire me? It will be a little difficult for them, of course, to hire unless and until they look at your, profile and everything else. But if you're lucky and somebody gives you an offer, I don't see any reason why you can't get a work visa. It will be a special category kind of a work visa. So that's what it would be. And it would be a work visa, of course, because recently I came across a guy from Chile who was recruited by a football club here in Hamilton to come and play football for them. So definitely possible. Sports people are encouraged. We are a massively sporting country, and we encourage our people. And cricket, of course, is highly competitive, as you're aware. And a lot of our international students who are coming here are doing very, very well in cricket as well in New Zealand. So all the best, and that's pretty much it, guys. Till the next time, Kakite Ano, which is see you later. And as always, a pleasure to talk to all of you. I'm glad I'm back here today without coughing and sputtering and all those kinds of things, and being able to do this session today. But hey, look, everybody who follows our work, AJV Global, please get in touch with us if you're already in New Zealand and you want some advice on visas, spouse visas, work visas, resident visas. Get in touch with Mary. That's a number and email address. Or if you're in India and you want to get into New Zealand, give a call to that toll-free number. If you're not from India, just send us your CV and your contact details to info@ajvglobal.com. We will pick it up. We will make it happen. If you're good, we will make sure that you find your spot here in New Zealand. All right. Thank you. Lovely to be back up and running again. And I hope you guys like my new look. Comments are welcome. And if you guys want me to change my glasses, I'll try and change them and come back with maybe next time I'll wear my sunglasses and sit here. Thanks, guys. Good night. Lovely to be back again. Bye bye.